What is up, guys? This is Fonzarelli Fell-Handed. Tonight we have a double feature. We had Kauzy on the stream, and we are also going to have one of his videos here tonight. He is in the Nagato, a very, very powerful Japanese battleship. Now, guys, if you want to be like Kauzy here and get some of your videos on the channel, by all means, let me know. Hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, or even comment down below. The links to both of those are down there in the description box. And speaking of the description box, go down there to World of Warship Peeps and find this little old gentleman right here and go to his channel and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as many times as you can, and make sure, for heaven's sakes, to hit that notification button. Moving on. So, Nagato. I'm kind of in the middle, so to speak. You know, I find it's very accurate at 3 meters or less. Now, that may not be everyone's, exact case. But, it has been known to have some issues with accuracy. And I'm kind of speaking from, mainly like the Fuso arena of accuracy. So, it may be a little bit different, and also he may have a different captain kind of lined out. As a matter of fact, if you want to ask him what he's running on his captain, his ship, whatever, comment below, ask him, and if we're lucky, he'll let you know. Now, we're trying to put some rounds here through this gap, waiting on the rest of the guns to load. This guy's not being very cooperative, and he's not lining himself up with the gap in order for us to fire on him. A lot of guns on this particular vessel here, but the good news is we don't have those really crazy goofy guns amidships. Some people like them. I particularly don't, simply because you have to turn completely broadside almost to get all your guns on target. Not necessarily a fan of that kind of Arkansas type situation, if you will, where it's got 2 guns amidships. Not a fan of that. This doesn't have that. As you can see down there, bottom of the middle screen, we don't necessarily have that lineup. We've got 2 fore, 2 aft. So it's a good mix. It's not necessarily the powerhouse of the Iowa, which is 2 forward, 1 aft, so you can really bow tank people. And the reason I say that is if you do bow tank somebody in a particular vessel where you have a lot more guns forward than aft, then you're not necessarily losing any firepower, because you kind of have to look at it in the end of not necessarily getting 2 guns on target but losing 2, kind of like a gambler would. Moving on, as far as the game goes, top of the map, nothing's really happened. Very, very slow to kind of get any speed on, and you know what, it's not for lack of trying, because we're shooting at anything that moves. And sometimes, folks, you do everything you can and you go out there and just you can't connect with anything. But you know what, I have a feeling Kauzy is going to connect with some stuff here very, very shortly. I have a feeling deep down in my satchel. Rolling fire right there on that gentleman. Let's see what happens. That Atlanta is just laying hatred with impunity. We touched him gently there, 5,600 damage. It's very, very hard to connect with cruisers, DDs, when they're bow in or stern in. Either way, simply because, small profile. And, of course, distance helps as well. You get less than 6 clicks, then, yeah, you could probably do some pretty decent work if your RNG is, benevolent, so to speak. Put some more rounds here on the Hotlanta. See what we can do. Oh my God, that was awful. Just absolutely showed him who cut the cantaloupe. 25,000 damage. Kauzy is looking for more targets. He is not satisfied. We're looking for more targets here. And essentially we're just going to lie in wait. And see, guys, this is when you want to fire on people, when they're engaged. Now, I know it kind of seems like a crappy thing to do, but this is something I would tell people nonstop in all my World of Tank videos. You need to fire on somebody who is engaged with somebody else, not with you. And the reason you need to do that, obviously, is because their focus is not on you. Their focus is on somebody else. It seems a little bit underhanded, let's call it low cunning. It's low cunning, but it works. You can really lay the hammer down. And you know what the best part about this entire baby plan I have is? Nobody's shooting at you. So that's what I think right there, guys. 27,000 damage, going to the top of the map. 2 friendlies down, 3 enemies down. We're going to try to lead this gentleman just a tiny, tiny bit. He spammed some HE at us. We're not going to let that bother us there. Looks like his round fell short. God almighty, look at that dispersion. It makes me want to feed babies to a wood chipper. It's just awful. I hate it so, so much. But you know what? If you play something long enough, you eventually learn about it. And Kauzy is learning to kind of deal with it. And that's kind of what you have to do. It seems, you know, the Japanese-British dispersion either just hates specifically me, or it hates a lot of folks in general. Only time will tell in here. We have danger close right here. This guy's kind of on top of us, but you know what? We've got full health. It's not really much of a danger. If this guy got to tee off on us for a while, then yes, I would say we definitely kind of have an issue. Fired dead on target there. It looks like that gentleman cut the engines. We overshot. And that is pretty much some standard finessery. I don't think, however, he was doing that for us. I think he was doing it mainly for the gentleman he was engaged in, because we saw him fire from mid to left. So, you know, in that case, he was like, oh, let me put the brakes on. And then, you know, the rounds from the Nagato come screaming by. Either way, funny and brown pants alert. Very hard to get both those at the same time. Going back to the top of the map there, top of the board, 5 down for the friendlies, 4 down for the enemies. It is getting near Kauzy's time to shine. 29,000 damage. Trying to get some more here. Maneuvering to where we can kind of square off with this gentleman right here. Oh my goodness, if we can connect with this, everything in the world is going to break. This guy is panicking. He's throwing his engines over. I don't think he's going to do it in time. And kablamo! Get on out of here. Get back to the water garage. And wow, we nailed the crap out of him. We're on fire here just a little bit. And guys, you know, if you operate a battleship, you have to be 100% cool with burning to death or burning non-stop. Not burning necessarily as much as that gentleman is right there, but burning. And simply because, you know, apparently battleships keeps, you know, loads of firewood on deck. I don't know. Moving on. Firing at this gentleman right here. Now, this is what I'm talking about earlier. Only firing the 2 forward guns. Did a little bit of damage there, considering this gentleman's kind of bow tanking us angled up. But, you know, we do what we can. We can't necessarily get the rear guns bringing around because we don't want to show too much of our side. You know, because what's going to happen is if we show him anything remotely of the side, he's going to put it down range, and he may lay the smack down on us. We don't know. It just depends on RNG. 55k, really out there making it happen. We're evened up there at the top of the map. 4 of us left and 4 of the bad guys. This is Kauzy's time to shine. He's going to try to overmatch this gentleman's front armor right here. Aiming right there for the turrets. Do some rolling fire. Sending it down range here. He opened up the side just a little bit, as you can see there, just to kind of get the guns on target. Now he is immediately throwing that rudder back over. Wise decision. Took a little bit of damage. Not as bad as it would have been if he had been all the way, you know, broadside. Now we still have all of our guns on target here, so we're not necessarily in a bad position. Wanting to see if Kauzy is going to wait to fire all of his guns. And boom, there we go. We've got them all loaded in. We're firing them. And the dispersion is a little rough right there. Just gave him a touch of damage there on the front. Not a whole lot, but you know what? That's fine. This is kind of a war of attrition. Now we're squaring up with this gentleman, so when he returns fire, we're going to have all that armor to the forward there. You know, if he was, you know, considerably higher than us in tiers, then I would say, okay, yeah, well, there's a chance he could overmatch. But at the same time, even if you can't overmatch, you're still minimizing your profile. So, you know, there's multiple schools of thought to it. Now we've got him perfectly squared up. We're going to go ahead and throw some hate down range. Kauzy, getting fed up with AP, has decided to throw HE at this guy. And the Japanese dispersion is fighting him tooth and nail. We are seeing a man battling his ship and a man in a ship battling. Two things at once here, folks. A first for this channel, I'd like to say. Now, this gentleman here, 2R10 o'clock, is taking rounds from his side, which is kind of hilarious to see. Every now and again, just rounds come in and they do more or less nothing. Kauzy is doing all the heavy lifting here, folks, but that's okay. I believe in him. Kablamo. That was a solid hit. HE all round, and that's what you do, guys. If you're doing a thing and it doesn't work, switch it up. Start throwing HE at him, throw AP at him, whatever it takes. Einstein's definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Don't be insane, people. Change up the game on him. Now, this guy is only... you see what he's doing here. He's throwing the forward guns at us, and he's throwing the stern guns at whomever. I don't know. We managed to get him on fire. Hopefully he'll use his kit. But at this point, we could really just alpha him and get him off the map. As far as the teams go, it's not looking very good. It's 2 of us, 3 of them. But at the same time, this gentleman is living on a prayer. Living on a prayer! It is not a good look for him at all. He is going to be with Boat Jesus here very, very shortly. Because now Kauzy says, I'm going to start throwing AP. I believe this guy used one of his repair kits, though, because I think he got a little bit more health than he had. I thought he was kind of, you know, really set to go, and it looks like he's gotten a little beefed up. Repair kit's back up there. We immediately slap that Band-Aid on, get us some more health. At the end of the map here, going to have to start our turn. Pretty soon we're not going to be able to get all our guns on target. Oh, wow, we're taking some serious fire here from the port side. Still decorated this guy. War of attrition over here, folks. Not a whole lot going on. But you know what? We're nickel and diming this guy to death. It's fine by me. We can just, you know, going to throw some HE at him there. And hopefully we can get him to burn out. Taking some AP here. Once again, port side. This gentleman has quite a little bit of a brisk reload because he's really kind of throwing these things at us back to back. You know, a cruiser, if left unattended, can do some massive damage simply because of that DPM. I know if I can get the Pensacola and I can be left alone, I will hurt people. And that's exactly what's kind of going on. This guy is banking on Kauzy to be engaged with this other gentleman right here, which is what's going on. We are trying to finish this guy off simply, if nothing else, to get him out of the map. Now, what would you do in this situation, folks, if it were any other situation, of course, is you would kind of try to pull out of range of said cruiser. I'm not necessarily sure if that is a cruiser firing on him. I don't know. But in this case, we can't, because if we turn around, this guy we're engaged with right here to our 1 o'clock is going to punish us. So we can't really do that. But if you're in that kind of situation, that is what you kind of need to do, is back out and use your BB's extended range. Finally, he is gone. Now, it is this gentleman's turn. Unfortunately, we have HE loaded. We are going to wallop him with it. Kauzy immediately switches to AP. Get a lot of secondary hits on this guy. We're turning into him. We're bow tanking him. Really good look. We're cutting back on our firepower, but you know what? In this case, we kind of need to. Torps are coming inbound. This is not a good look. And kablamo. We take, it looks like 1 and then 2. Not a good look for us, but you know what? We still went out there and we made it happen, folks. And the game immediately ends. You know, we had to do a little bit of powerlifting, but you know what? Kauzy was up to the task. 101,000 damage, 457,000 silver credits, crew grounds, whatever the heck you call them. Amazing game. Meet the Nagato. Folks, I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, and go down the description box and check for World of Warship Peeps and look at Kauzy's page, because he has all kind of awesome stuff like this on there. See you guys next time.